Hello everyone, today we will continue our journey together to learn programming without coding technology. In this lesson, we will learn about using recursion, where a function can call itself many times to solve a problem. So let us start by creating a program, and we will use the basic program components. At first, we will define a new function using the define function component, and this function will be called auto decrement. And we will have one parameter which is like a number that represent our start. So inside this function, we will print the number like this, and we will print an expression that contains the number. Then we will have a new line. After printing the nStart value, we would like to do a decrement by calling the same function again, and we will pass nStart -1 as parameter. Before we do this, we will check nStart value to be sure that nStart does not equal 0. So if the value is greater than 0, we will call auto decrement like this. And we will pass nStart -1. So what we will have as output, if we call this function and we passed number 10 as a parameter, let us try and see. We will call auto decrement and we will pass number 10 like this. Now run, you will see the numbers from 10 to 0. If we called, say, from 5 like this, we will see the counter from number 5 to number 0. What about passing a negative number? What will happen? Okay, this function is called auto decrement, and we would like to accept only positive numbers. So if I passed a number like -5, I would like to get an error message. So at first, what will happen if we run now? If we run now, we will get like a problem because of our stack is full. We are calling the function again and again for many times. So we have a problem called stack overflow. So let us start by checking this nStart value like this, where we can say if nStart is less than 0, and we will move this step up like this, we print a message, this function expect a positive number like this. Now run and look at this. We get the error message, but we print the error message, but the function continue. So we have to add a return command to end the function. Now run, and we get the expected output. We have a counter that can count, say, from 10 to 1 to 0, and from 5 to 0 like this. And if we passed a negative number, we will get an error message and we will terminate the function. So what we learned now? We learned about recursion, where the auto increment function can call itself many times to solve a problem. Also, we learned about checking the input to be in the expected range, where we accept positive numbers. So this is a good lesson. Also, we can check the quick start component to find another example about using recursion. We will select using functions like this, and we will find this nice example about functions. When we run this example, at first it calls a function called first, and this function prints this message as we see here. After that, we call the second function that print this message using this step. Then we call a function called sum to some numbers like 3 and 5 or 1000 and 2000, and this function just use the print component to print an expression. So 3 plus 5 equal 8 and 1000 plus 2000 equal 3000. Also we have a function called factorial. This function get a parameter x and it check if x equals 0 as we have here, it will return 1. But if it is not 0, then it will multiply the parameter x with the output of the factorial function when we pass x minus 1 as parameter to this function. So when we use factorial 5, we get 120. The last thing in this example is about calling a function called no value. This function does nothing, it just return null as we learned it in our previous lesson, and we check if the output is null, we print a message that the no value function does not return a value. So what we learned today, we learned about recursion, how the function can call itself. We learned about checking the parameters of the function and taking a decision based on this to determine when to terminate the function using the return command. Also, we learned about using this example in the quick start component, the example that called using functions. Thank you very much and see you in our next lesson.